Hi everyone, this is Bob Conley from Innovus Partners. This video is going to be a brief demonstration showcasing the functionality of InnovusINSIGHT for reverse mortgage analytics, a business intelligence solution offered by Innovus Partners. InnovusINSIGHT reverse mortgage analytics application provides financial institutions with the tools to optimize business performance. The application is comprised of a suite of dashboards that deliver a bird's eye view of critical analysis for different aspects of your business. The solution contains analytics in areas such as mortgage funding, the ability to analyze your sales cycle from leads to registrations to funding, your sales rep performance, be able to identify who are your best and worst performers and why. Channel revenue, you can investigate the funding from your different business channels, and your marketing campaign analysis, the ability to evaluate how to best allocate your dollars to generate loan opportunities. The offering is a packaged solution complete with dashboards and training, and of course, if needed, InnovusINSIGHT can be customized to meet the needs unique to your business. So how does it work? InnovusINSIGHT imports disparate data sources, whether they be flat files, spreadsheets, relational databases, or even external census data from the web. It imports that and builds the InnovusINSIGHT analytical data model, and then generates the analytical dashboards from which you can consume your data. Well, now that we've had a brief overview of what the solution is offering, let's jump into a live demonstration. Okay, so here we are at the executive dashboard. The InnovusINSIGHT executive dashboard was built to give the management team and executives a bird's eye view of what's going on in the different aspects of their business. For instance, on the left-hand side here, we can see how we're performing versus forecast. In the center here, we can see funding from different perspectives as well as what's left in the pipeline. We can see how we're performing in each of the different states. And on the right-hand side here, we can see our trending information. Each one of these objects is a graphical representation of your data. The InnovusINSIGHT data model allows you to make selections to filter your data, and these filters are carried across each of the dashboards. For instance, if I wanted to focus on April, I would just simply have to click on April in one of the chart objects, and the entire dashboard is now filtered to only show information that is associated with the month of April. We also have the ability to zoom in on any one of these objects for a better view of what's being displayed in the chart object. For example, if we wanted to expand the funded versus forecast chart object here, we can do so to get a better look at what's being displayed. And here we can see actual funded loan, or represented by the blue bar, and we can also see the forecast numbers, which is represented by the pink line. And by hovering over the dimension, we can see a pop-up window that gives you the actual numbers for each of the different dimensions being displayed. So call center here is doing well. They beat their forecast numbers. We're a little concerned about sales rep direct and wholesale, as they did not meet their numbers. So the system is very easy to use, simple to navigate, and can handle any type of data you want to load to it. In addition to being able to filter data, you also have the ability to drill down on each of the elements, provided you have the supporting details. So let's say you want to investigate why sales rep direct is not performing well. We can click on sales rep direct and drill down to the individual sales reps to see who's performing well and who is not. It seems like all the sales reps are meeting their numbers, with everyone except for Jonathan, where he was forecast to close 10 loans or fund 10 loans, and he only funded 3 loans. We could also see that Jonathan does not have any loans in the pipeline, so this looks like these are the true numbers that he's going to have for April, so that's a problem. Being able to get down to detailed information quickly and isolate on a problem is very simple to do with InnovusINSIGHT for reverse mortgage analytics. As we mentioned, we've designed a number of different dashboards for you to consume your data. And you can navigate these dashboards by either clicking on the drop down here and jumping to the dashboard that you want to work with, or by simply using the scroll buttons here to step through each of the different dashboards. So we're going to step over to the channel rep performance analysis. And as you can see here, the selections we made on the executive dashboard have carried over to the channel rep performance analysis page. Here we're still focused on the sales rep direct, and we can drill down on each of the different reps to see how they've been performing over time. As you can see, as I make selections, some of the different filters that we have here are changing in color, and that's what's known as the green, white, gray associative experience of click sense. Any of the data that is highlighted in green is a selection that the user has made. Any of the objects that are highlighted in white are associated with the selections the user has made, and any objects that are gray are just unrelated to what you're looking at. And this is very powerful because it gives you the ability to understand your data in ways that you're really traditionally not used to. So for instance, by selecting Francis, I can see that he does not work with any third-party companies. He is working in the state of California and Texas. If we go and we change to TPO, third-party originator, we can select a sales rep. We can see which third-party companies he's working with. So Brandon's working with Feedfish. And if we select Joyce, she's working with Mido and Oba, and they're working in the states of California, Georgia, so on and so forth. So it gives you a very, very in-depth understanding of what is associated with the selections you're making. A good example of how this is helpful is if we go back to Jonathan, we know that he did not make his or hit his forecast numbers for the month of April, and that had a big impact on the sales rep direct. And just by going and selecting Jonathan, we could see that he's working within the state of Florida primarily. And we can now go over to the geo funding analysis page and take a look at why Florida has such a high impact on that business unit. So I'm going to go and actually just remove some of the selections we've made and navigate over to the geo funding analysis page. And here what we've done is we've displayed your funding by geography, so each funding by each of the states that are in the continental US. We've also gone out and imported into InnovusINSIGHT the census data for each of the states, so the population of each state, and then what percentage of that population is eligible for a reverse mortgage. Now down here in the scatter chart, we can see that California has just under 40 million people in the population, but there's just over 4 million eligible reverse mortgage borrowers. And the reason why Jonathan had such a high impact on his business unit is because he was working in Florida, which has not only the highest percentage of reverse mortgage borrowers, but it has just over 3 million potential borrowers. So that's a big market for reverse mortgages. So we need to get Jonathan back up to speed. And here on the bottom right of the screen, we've got a pivot table that shows some of the data behind what's driving these visualizations here. So the pivot table is a really, really cool and very helpful, powerful tool that you can use to just display your information however you would like to see it. So if you want to sort it by sales rep, by product, then state, or if you want to go by property first, it allows you to simply just drag and drop these measures wherever you want them. You also have the ability to again expand it, and if you want to just move product into a column versus one of the rows, it's just very flexible and really gives you some great options on how to work with your data. Now, just like with what you had saw in the other two dashboards, the mapping tool here is just another way to filter your data. So if we select on Florida, we now have filtered the entire dashboard to only show information that is associated with Florida. And depending on the granularity of the data that you keep, InnovusINSIGHT can even go down to the zip code level. As you can see here, we move over to the geofunding analysis by zip, and we're focused on Florida, and it's showing all of the different zip codes for Florida. Again, we can drill down and see how each of these different sales reps are doing within that state of Florida and that specific zip code. And that's how we've married up the corporate data with census data. We're going to just clear out some of these selections here, and we're going to go back to the executive summary page here. And again, I'm going to focus on April. So far, we've kind of just been looking for reasons as to why the sales rep direct business unit or sub-channel has not been performing well. Well, not only do we want to identify problems and come up with answers to those problems, but we also want to identify areas that we're doing well in and try to perpetuate that, that good performance. So in this example, we could see that the call center business unit or sub-channel has done very well. It completely beat their forecast numbers, which they were forecast for 114 funded loans, and they actually closed 214 loans. So we want to understand what is driving that performance. So, we have the ability again to drill into the sub-channel to see how our sales reps are doing. We can see what's still left in the pipeline, and then the state information, just like we saw with the other units. But this doesn't really tell us exactly why we're doing so well, and it doesn't show us what's driving that information or what's driving that business. So we're going to go and move over to our campaign analysis page. The campaign analysis page was designed to show us what campaigns are driving the most amount of business, or where are our leads coming from, where are the good quality leads coming from that actually turn into registered and then funded loans. And an example of that is here on the left hand side. You could literally see the funnel of leads through the sales pipeline. So next to this, in the center, you can see the same funnel of leads all the way down to funded loans. It gives you an idea of, although you may be getting a lot of leads from a specific campaign, but what's the quality of those leads? What's the ratio of them actually turning into funded loans? Here up in the tree map, we can see the funded loans by medium, and we can drill into the individual mediums to see exactly or to see the detail of that medium. So for instance, here television has the highest number of registered loans, and when we drill into television, we could see that the Golf Channel has the first highest number of registered loans, then followed by the History Channel, the Weather Channel, Fox Network, and then CNN. And within the tree map, we could also see the volume by age. So we could see the borrower age, and in the Golf Channel, we had the highest number of borrowers that were 67 years old. So this gives us the ability to see what our marketing campaign, or who our marketing campaigns are actually targeting. Are we targeting the correct audience, by age group? And then down here in the scatter chart, we can see what is the registration versus funded ratio. So what's the fallout? How many of the registered loans turned into actual funded loans? And here, the Golf Channel, we could see we had 156 registered loans and 47 funded loans. So we had a 30% conversion ratio, which is really good. So, gives you great insight on where the best leads are coming from in your business. So now the campaign analysis is showing us where the loans are being generated from, or where the leads are being generated from, but it doesn't necessarily tell us how much those leads are, or how much that campaign is generating from a revenue standpoint. So if we move over to the campaign analysis detail, here we've combined the expense data for the campaign with our actual funded loans. So here we can see the Golf Channel has 47 funded loans, History Channel, and over here in the scatter chart, we can see what is the cost of that each individual channel for that campaign, and how much revenue was generated from that campaign. So on the History Channel, it only cost us $2,000 to run a commercial on the History Channel, and it turned into $500,000 in revenue from origination fees. The Golf Channel only cost us $1,000, and it generated 800,000 K. Yeah, so very, very intuitive, great insight into seeing exactly what's the return on investment for your marketing campaigns and finding out how much business those campaigns are generating. Down here in the bottom, we can see this grid. It shows the campaign details, which have the campaign, the source, which is essentially the channel, and more importantly, the start and end dates. So we can see that this campaign started on March 1st of 2015 and ended at the end of April. And that's directly related to the improved performance of the call center for the month of April. Now that's just a glimpse of some of the functionality offered by InnovusINSIGHT for reverse mortgage analytics. To learn more about our solution or schedule a live demo, email us at info@innovusinsight.com. Thanks for watching.